YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels is back with some more NFL content. So I've been ranking players like crazy, giving my opinions on best player each team, offense, defense, all that fun stuff. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, go check them out, please. And what do we got today? NFC Breakout Players. I did AFC already, so if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. But NFC Breakout Players for the 2018 season. Every NFC team. Let's get into it. Starting with the Niners, Jerick McKinnon. Going to be their starting running back. Came from Minnesota. Excellent receiving back. Maybe the fastest running back that gets touches in the game. So very impressive guy, and should be more impressive with more playing time, more snaps, and in that Shanahan offense. So can't wait to watch him play. Niners Vikings week 1 too. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, McKinnon gets the Niners for me. On to the Bears. The Bears, you could have went with tons of guys here. You could have went with first one that popped in my head was Trey Burton. They got the tight end from the Eagles. He's going to be possibly the #1 tight end, or is it going to be Shaheen? Could be either one of those guys. Kevin White, Bears fans they want to see him finally break out. I think he could do it this year, but they did gain some receivers. I went with the easiest possible one, probably because we know he's going to get the opportunity. It's Mitchell Trubisky, their rookie quarterback from last year. I mean, we know he's a starting quarterback. They're going to build the offense around him. They're going to run it around him. So the opportunity, the chances of him breaking out are extremely high compared to the other guys. A couple of defensive guys you look at too. Aaron Lynch, they got from the Niners, could he's going to get more snaps, so he could break out. But I went with Trubisky there, Mr. Biscuits. On to the Bucks. It's Chris Godwin from Penn State, the wide receiver from Penn State a year ago. Could be their third receiver, but I even think end up being their second receiver. Could take over Deshaun Jackson. Maybe he's on the decline. But a receiver I liked a lot from a year ago, so he's definitely going to get more action in his second year. And I think he's very good. So we'll see more of him for the Bucks. On to the Cardinals. Tough one here. You could have went with Kimdichie, but I went with Budda Baker, safety from Washington out of a 2017 draft. They don't have Tyrann Mathieu anymore, so that helps Budda Baker a lot, even though he played anyways. Tyrann Mathieu was more of a box guy, but Budda Baker already a really good rookie season, but going to get in his second year, that alone you expect a step up in production, but with no Tyrann Mathieu, he's going to get more action. So he's going to be a starter too. So Budda Baker guy was a high on in 2017. On to the Cowboys. A couple guys you can go with here. Taco Charlton would be the obvious one. Rookie from last year. Out of Michigan. You expect a big step up from him. But I went with wild card here. Byron Jones. He's already been a pretty good player, but really hasn't lived up to the first round hype. And they're talking about switching him to corner. Maybe where he's better off. So, whether he's at safety or corner, I think it's his time to step up. I think this is his year. He was more of an athletic guy, a little bit of a project. So maybe he's one of those guys that needed more time to develop. And it's not like he hasn't been good. He's been good, but I think he really could break out this year, no matter which defensive back position he plays. On to the Eagles, maybe my favorite one on the list, Sidney Jones, the corner from Washington. 2017. He was my #1 corner in the NFL draft, not Marshawn Lattimore. Well, at least until he got hurt, then Marshawn Lattimore took over the #1 spot. But I was super high on Sidney Jones. So unfortunate injury, but not really unfortunate for the Eagles because that's why they got him. And now he's good to go and going to play this year. So can't wait to watch him. The Eagles got an excellent corner on him. Could be a #1 corner. I hear he's looking very, very good in OTAs too. And that does not surprise me one bit. Can't wait to watch him play. On to the Falcons. The Falcons, I went with Takk McKinley. A pretty obvious one here. You expect the guy to step up this year. They need him to, opposite of Vic Beasley. Pretty good rookie season for the snaps he got. So he's going to get more snaps. Athletic guy coming off the edge. High motor guy that really wants it. And I think he steps up big time. On to the Giants. Eli Apple, a little bit of a wild card here. Hasn't lived up to the hype yet. The corner at Ohio State. Getting a lot of hate last year, and maybe he's learned from that. Maybe two things. Maybe he's learned from that. Maybe he's mature. He's kind of known as a guy that wasn't matured yet. Maybe he's matured more now, and he's got to want it more now. People hating on him. people just outside the team too. So he's going to want it more. I think he really steps up and plays very well. Plays like a first-round corner maybe. On to the Lions. Jared Davis, rookie from Florida last year, the linebacker. I liked him a lot coming out of Florida. Very, very high motor guy. Very good linebacker. They need him to step up big time, and I think he does. I know I think he had some minor injuries here and there, if I remember correctly, but I think Jared Davis steps up big time. Packers went with another rookie from last year. Could have went with Kevin King, but I went with Josh Jones, the safety out of NC State. Almost forgot where he was from somehow, but a guy I liked a lot coming out of college. Just a safety that you find all over the field. Very good in the run support. Good at reading plays. I think them getting Burnett out of there, I think just solidifies Josh Jones' spot next to Clinton Dix, so he can develop more and probably already has developed more than his first season, so I expect big things from him. Guy I liked a lot out of NC State. Panthers, Vernon Butler, first-round pick out a few years ago from LA Tech. Expected more out of him, but he has had good D tackles in front of him. Starla Tule's gone, even though they get in Don Terry Poe. He's kind of been jumping around a little bit, so nothing's guaranteed with him. So Vernon Butler's going to get more snaps, I think, and he could step up. A guy that, again, hasn't really lived up to the hype, but I think has the potential to this year. On to the Rams. Could have went with a couple guys here, but Gerald Everett, tight end from South Alabama last year, a guy I was really high on. I think he fits this offense perfectly. Athletic tight end, catch the ball very well. It's so perfect for this offense. It's got to be, and it was only his rookie season last year, so now's got to be the time that he steps up, and I think he will be a legit tight end in this league. On to the Redskins. Fabian Moreau, the corner from UCLA last year. I think he got hurt last year, so I think he would have had a pretty good rookie season. But second year, I think he steps up. I think they need him to, opposite of Josh Norman. The obvious choice would be Jonathan Allen here. Another guy that got hurt, first-round pick out of Alabama. But we know he's good. He showed us that he's good. Fabian Moreau is a guy I think they need to count on more to step up, and I think he can. Corner from UCLA that I was pretty high on in 2017. On to the Saints. The Saints, I was going to go with Sheldon Rankins, former first-round pick out of Louisville. Expect him to step up production-wise easy this year. Very good player, a very good future, I should say. But I went with a bit of a wild card here. Offensive side, I went with Cameron Meredith. Came from the Chicago Bears. Did not play last year because he was hurt. Receiver that really came out of nowhere, and it's because of his route running. You know, the receivers these days are succeeding if they have the good route running ability, and he does. So as long as he doesn't get hurt, I think he's going to be an excellent weapon for the Saints. The Saints always seem to use these random receivers too, and they end up being good. I know they have Michael Thomas, who isn't a random receiver. But if Meredith is healthy, he's going to be good with the Saints. I think he's in a perfect offense here. Gonna be interesting to watch. On to the Seahawks. Could have went with a couple of defensive players here, a couple of different defensive players, but I went with Jaren Reed, another Bama defensive tackle from a couple of years ago. Hasn't really lived up to the hype yet. Most viewed him as a first-round talent. I think they end up getting him the second. I think he steps up this year. You know, they lost a lot of defensive players, mainly on the D-line, when the secondary as well, I guess. And I think he needs to step up, and I think will. But he has competition. You look at Naz Jones. They got a couple of defensive tackles from Minnesota, so he has competition, but now's his time, so I think he could step up. And on to the Vikings. I went with their guard, Dan Isadora. Thought was one of the steals of the draft last year out of Miami. I thought he went later than I thought he would go. Did get some snaps last year, looked pretty good, but he's expected to start this year. Vikings starters are pretty much going to look the same, except for obviously getting Kirk Cousins in there. But he wouldn't be a candidate for a breakout player. Could be Dalvin Cook, but we already know he can play. So really, you had to look at the offensive line. Some guys need to step up on the offensive line. Could be Isadora. Could be the undrafted guy at TCU, Aviante Collins, too. He actually played in the playoffs. So one of those guys, I looked at Isadora because I believe he's with the first team in OTAs, and I think he will start at guard. So he has the opportunity. But that'll do it for the NFC Breakout Players. We have plenty NFL content to come. We want to get you guys involved, so go to our Twitter, frogs_angels. We'll be having polls on there asking you guys pretty much who the best player at each position is, and we'll reveal it in those videos, in my top 10 rankings. So we got plenty of coverage to come. Thanks for everyone's support. Our goal is 10K subscribers, so it'd be much appreciated if you help us get there by clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. But that'll do it for this one. Goodbye.